So moving on to the next team, it would be Gujarat Titans. So how do you think they went about Gaurav? They had three retained players: Hardik Pandya, Rashid Khan was is a world class bowler, and then Shubman Gill. They had to build a team. I think they did pretty well pre-auction. How do you think they went about in the auction?
A draft perspective, they had the three best players they could get. I think they'd made full use of it. Hardik, Rashid, Gill kind of satisfies and fulfills a lot of slots. That was very heartening to see. The auction was a first time experience for a lot of them, I guess. Doing a full team is not very easy. In my opinion, they kind of lost the plot a bit during the auction. They started well on day two and just covering, not picking a keeper for a long time. And generally, certain things didn't fall in place. And the kind of players they're picking, they're not IPL proven players at all. So, as an opposition, I wouldn't be very intimidated with them. However, this IPL kind of, if you look at all the 10 teams, everybody has some holes. Because of a 10 team IPL, it's kind of very even Steven. So, even though Gujarat didn't have the dream auction, what you would kind of think, they don't have a very intimidating playing 11. There's nobody really to worry about. Having said all that, who knows if Jason Roy has a season like David Warner had all those years. If Shubman Gill can continue his 400, 500 runs, Hardik Pandya does well, Rashid Khan does well, certain core players do well. Do you have the odd performance from someone, then things can fall through. But overall, pretty disappointed with the way they have gone about constructing it.
Also, like the keeper thing was a gaping hole, but eventually they found two. Lockie Ferguson, I know he had like a good season. Last couple of seasons actually were good. And then Rahul Tewatia. These were like the two picks in the auction which kind of stood out for me from a price point standpoint. I felt both were like over what was a fair value for them given overseas and like, what Tewatia has done. Did that kind of derail their auction? Because already they picked Shami, they had like they retain, and then you pick two people 10 and 9, you don't have money.
They kind of decided that, hey, I'm going to go behind Lockie, whatever happens. There must be some kind of influence of a fast bowler liking a particular bowler. And he's so injury prone. That's why I wouldn't pay so much for someone who is, especially a pace bowler for at that price point. Tewatia, again, I think they had to kind of force fit Tewatia there for the balance perspective. Otherwise, again, number 6 batting and bowling is required. You need a spin all-rounder there. Like most teams have that. So when you look at this overall, there is a challenge. I agree with you. I think they overpaid for these two players. Again, this is a tough one, but I would give it a 5.
Okay, 5. Okay, we're getting to controversial opinion.
We felt they were going only after bowlers, and it was like who would bat for them. So they were at certain point only they were going after fast bowlers.
That's why I just felt that having such a super core of Rashid, Hardik and Gill, I would have expected slightly a better performance.
Let's look at their playing 11 now.
This is a tough one, but let's figure it out. Gill and Roy start. Number 3 would be I would play Vijay Shankar.
Yeah, there itself the problem kind of starts.
Yeah, too high for him, right?
Yeah.
But in this team, so that's what I would do. If I'm when that I think for SRH he did pretty well at 3 in that little one season he had with David Warner and stuff. But among the people here, at the end of the day, he's an Indian player. Maybe give him more responsibility. That's one way of extracting thing. I'll come to the other option. There's one more option which I've thought about. Let's finish putting the 11 and I'll change. We'll play around with that. I think 4 would be Abhinav Manohar. 5
exciting talent. He did pretty well in the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy as well.
Yeah, so I think he would slot in there. 5, 6, 7 would be Hardik Tewatia, and I guess they'll have to play David Miller as a finisher. Then you have Lockie, Rashid, Shami, and Sai Kishore.
I think we're missing a keeper.
Oh yeah, then I think you have to. Yeah. This is where the problem comes. So what I would do is just swap Miller, put Matthew Wade at the top, and push Gill to number 3.
Okay, Gill, you want to push to 3. Makes sense.
Yeah, and this is the option. This is the other option I had for them. So instead of Miller, if you play Wade, you can also do that. So you can play the same combination what I mentioned with Wade at number 7, which is what he's doing for Australia right now. I would rather go with this to give some impetus at the top, and again you have Hardik Tewatia at the bottom to kind of do the finishing.
Who is the other bowler? Sai
Sai
Kishore?
Kishore, yeah.
Okay.
So this gives them 6 bowling options, 7 bowling options actually.
Hardik bowls, right?
Yeah, if Hardik bowls, and you have a couple of leggies, different kind of leggies. So the bowling will come through if this with this 11. I think it's a decent bowling attack. You have Lockie, Shami, Rashid, Rahul Tewatia, Hardik, Sai Kishore is a power play bowler. Rahul Tewatia and Rashid can kind of clog the middle overs, and Lockie can also be a middle order enforcer and bowl in the death. And Shami can start and finish. So from a bowling perspective, I think they're okay. But batting is where things need to fall in place. Instead of playing David Miller, this is what I would do. I would give Gill the number 3 role, kind of anchor, play through the innings. I don't know if they'll do that. Or the other option, which I think they'll end up doing, is what I told you initially. But instead of Miller, they'll play Wade at 7.
There's some gaping holes, as you said, like this.
Yeah, and Wade, for example, may not be available initially. So what do you do then? You have to play Saha, and Saha is best at the top. So again, just replace Wade with Saha and maybe drop Abhinav Manohar and play David Miller. I think that's what would also be another option.
Now the star players need to push. That's how.
Yeah, that's how.
Anybody to watch out for in the squad, Gaurav?
Yeah, I was impressed with Sai Sudarshan and Abhinav Manohar. Both of them have been very good. Sai Sudarshan has generally done well at the TNPL as well as the limited opportunities he got for Tamil Nadu. But whether he can do it at this stage, I don't know. But both of them are good top order players. They can bat at the exact position where we have put them. Both are exciting talents.
Yeah, thanks, Gaurav.